when you want to start narrowing your college list, of course, you're going to look at things like, does this university have majors that I'm interested in? Preferably not just one major that you're interested in, but maybe a few majors that you're interested in. Are they strong in internships or research, if that's something that you feel is going to be important? Do they have a strong study abroad program? Even if you think you don't want to study abroad, if there's any little part of you that thinks you might, make sure you're choosing a school that has a strong study abroad program, because you don't want to get to school and find out that that's not available to you and be super disappointed. So some of those things are kind of the big obvious questions that you would want to answer as you start to narrow your list. But there's some other things that if you think about yourself and take a minute to search your heart, that might really matter to you. For example, class size. A lot of us say, oh, class size isn't important, but it actually might be to you because of the type of learner you are, or you like the opportunity to really talk to your colleagues, in this case, your co-students who will be your colleagues. How walkable is your campus? Is it easy to get from your campus to the college town or around the city that you're in? What's the food like? You know what? Ask about the food. Eating crappy food for 4 years is not pleasant. Is there a religious affiliation that you want to know about, either because you're into it or you're not into it? What are the athletics like? Is that something that's important to you? If it's really seriously not important to you, how big are athletics on campus? That is a good thing to know. Same with Greek life. You want to know if it's something important to you, what's the Greek life like? And if it's really something you want to stay away from, then you want to know that all social activities on campus are not completely surrounded by the Greek life. You might want to look at the list of clubs, and I could go on and on. These are the small things that make up the full school experience. So as you start to narrow and the big questions are answered, research, majors, stuff like that, you can look at some of these relatively less important, but nevertheless still important to everyday life kinds of things to help you to narrow. And just make sure you're listening both to your head and your heart about what you really would like.